In a world full of noise, chaos and anxiety, we all look for ways to calm down and stay present. Although there are thousands of different paths and ways to calm one's mind, wood carving holds the biggest weight for me. And today, I will share with you how I started and how you yourself can calm your mind. But before I jump into the moment I started carving, I want to take you several years before, just as a lost kid who can't find any peace, rest or calmness, surrounded by grown-ups who try to push their ideas and methods into my tiny head. I wish I could have showed in the background some footage from that age, but as I didn't document much until 4 years ago, a small collection of my favorite projects will do. Growing up, I always felt words failed me. As any kid, I wanted to express myself, but I never seemed to fully transfer my excitement about the world using words only. At school, I was frustrated daily, feeling the expectations of those who were supposed to educate and teach me how to fulfill my potential and develop skills for a happy life. But constantly, something just didn't feel right. I'm sure there are many reasons for that. Some I know and some are beyond my understanding, but that's not the subject today. So as I tried my best to avoid any literal classes, I had a small safe corner to escape to. Luckily, we had one class that needed no words, a class where we let our hands speak. Our teacher, she was the type that will walk around the room with a warm smile on her face, enjoying the view of 20 kids making a beautiful mess, creating from their free mind. This was my second home. Regardless to the fact it was located in the basement, walls made of concrete, and big steel doors with 5 old extremely used woodworking tables and a dozen of closets filled with dull tools and scrap wood. Once I started high school, a rebellious side came out of me. Probably 70% of my classes I managed to get myself kicked out in the first 15 minutes. I think it was a combination of being bored and wanting to express myself freely in class. But with my lack of confidence using literal words, it was easier and relieving to provoke and give up, skipping classes and blaming others for my frustrations. But the day came, and my urge for self-expression was too strong to suppress. And a brilliant idea that probably changed my life came to mind. Just a moment after being kicked out of class, I made a decision and walked to my old elementary school building. I walked down the stairs into a dark, narrow hallway with countless huge blue steel doors, until I reached the one which drew me in like a magnet. A small wooden sign on it, saying in bold, "Workshop." I entered the room while a swarm of 6-year-old kids were meticulously crafting a mess. My teacher looked at me and with a warm smile invited me to join and help her show the kids how to use the tools. And like this, it became a daily routine, where creating with my hands became my way of self-expression. So you must be wondering how come I haven't mentioned wood carving until now. Well, the fact was that we worked with saws, blunt chisels and rasps. These were the main tools we were given, and my first encounter with wood carving was nothing but an accident. It was just another normal day, sitting next to a thick, massive wooden table, thinking what to create next. I remember being frustrated with all of the dull tools, looking for a sharp chisel to start my project. Then I realized there was one tool that was always sharp. the utility knife. I took the knife out of the box and sat down with a piece of scrap wood. Until this day, 14 years later, I remember that marvelous feeling. The sharp, thin knife easily piercing through the wood, beautifully slicing the fibers with a calm rumbling that left a thin curl behind. This was it. Back then I understood I have to explore this sensation. But as a small high school kid, I had no knowledge about that thing that I just found out. I knew the name of the action, carving, and I had access to the internet. And that was how my journey started. It took several good years for me to evolve and get myself proper tools. Most of the tools I started with were improvised and quite dangerous, leaving scars I carry till this day. But that same feeling of the sharp knife slicing through the wood kept me going, wanting to get better, to improve and learn as much as I can. And here I am now. Although I knew from young age that wood carving is my favorite means of creation, I didn't imagine my whole life would be evolved around it. Creating the space where I can share my work and passion with others, express myself with the freedom I seek so much, is beautiful, and I'm truly thankful for that. I know this journey is still long, and honestly I can't be more excited. Each year and project I found a way to evolve and reflect and grow, and without a doubt, the last project I did was by far the one I grew from the most. And while it was super valuable for me, it was made with the sole purpose of giving you everything I know, to start with minimum frustration. I made a complete video course for those who desire to pick up a knife and start their own wood carving journey. This whole course was made with the understanding that there is a gap between what my strong right hand knows to what someone who never carved before can handle. So for months, I've written the content of the course while carving each lesson and project with my left hand, bringing all of my insights into the course. The goal is simple: showing you how to carve with freedom using 3 tools: the sloyd knife, the hook knife, and the axe. I've divided the course into 5 modules. The first talks about the tools, the workspace, how to collect and choose wood, the basic techniques to carve with a sloyd knife, while understanding how the grain direction works, and how to observe and listen to it. And for conclusion, a start-to-finish project video showing and explaining how I carve a simple butter knife using only the knife. Then for the second module, which is focused on spoons, I first show the different motions and shapes that are important when carving a spoon. Then I introduce the other 2 tools: the axe for faster processing while removing larger pieces of wood, and the hook knife for hollowing out wood. To summarize the module, I made a start-to-finish cooking spoon chapter where I narrate the whole process. For the third module, I wanted to give the techniques to start carving smaller objects that are harder to hold and maneuver. The module is focused around small bowls and trays, showing different options and examples, techniques and mindsets for small objects, and how to approach using the hook knife for prolonged durations and deeper bowls. I finished the module with a start-to-finish small bowl project that encounter all of the points and lessons needed for a small object. Then, for the last 2 modules, I decided to go even smaller. Both don't really show any axe work or hook knife carving, as they are focused on detailed projects and small 3-dimensional carvings. I start with a simple 2-dimensional detail carving approach where I mainly use the tip of the knife, like a pencil, and with the right technique and exercises, I manage to control it delicately and remove thin lines of wood to create patterns and shapes. This module is focused on pendants, so I show several examples: how to plan and draw the design according to the grain direction for maximum strength, I explain in detail how to comfortably manage to control the knife using this method and tools that help me reach a higher level of technique. I finished the module with a small feather pendant, which is a perfect project to practice thin lines and knife control. Like I already said, the last module will be showing my approach regarding small three-dimensional shapes, starting with choosing a design and understanding its different shapes and outlines to ease on the carving process. Then I explain each step of the process using an example of a small whale sculpture. I show points on rough shaping, balancing strength and control for small details, shaping and refining, and for the last chapter of the module, a conclusion project, carving a small turtle pendant from start to finish, going through every point learned and obstacle you might encounter. These are the main 5 modules, but of course it is not enough to start your journey. For the first few years of my carving journey, I didn't put the effort to give the piece a final finish, but both for awakening the beauty of the wood and for protecting it, making it more water resistant, it's wise to add oil and burnish your carvings. I go through everything I learned regarding this process on the bonus module, finishing all the carvings being done in the course. Adding to that, as tools wear out and at some point you will need to sharpen them to a razor sharp edge, I made a full detailed guide on understanding the principles and fundamentals of sharpening, so you will not only know how to sharpen your blades, but understand how to adjust and develop your own technique, giving you the option to grow. And that's it, the full course outline. In total, 8 hours of high-quality edited videos divided into 40+ chapters, all in one place, having lifetime access, being able to watch on any device, anywhere you want. I also opened a WhatsApp group dedicated for the course students to ask questions and share their own beautiful creations, which I really enjoy being part of until now. While making this course, I discovered the beauty of giving others real value, of pouring my heart and soul for the purpose of sharing the love and passion I myself experience through this beautiful art. I'm sure the course is not perfect and I have a lot to grow and improve, but I am certainly proud of what I made and for being able to help others start their own beautiful journey. If all of these sound intriguing for you, and you want to give it a try, you can visit the link below for more information. As I truly appreciate the time and attention you give me, you can get a nice discount through the link. Also, because I believe this course should reach those who really want it and need it, I offer a 30 days money-back guarantee to make sure everyone are satisfied and happy. So I hope you enjoyed this small video and story of how it all started. I am working hard to make and create from my heart, sharing it with you here, and I'm truly grateful for having this option and opportunity to do so. I would love to thank already everyone who joined the course, as they are the reason I can do what I'm doing at the moment. Well, with that being said, thank you for watching, keep creating, and I'll see you next time.